It's
Go.
very
Buka.
Halloween of you.
Buka.
Ooh.
And with that, welcome back to Tabletop Dubshot, a live action role playing game with all baristas. With me today is Bela.
Who plays Val, but specifically all in lowercase letters.
It's true. PE.
Ooh. Buka.
And Jordan.
Pierce.
The one normal one in the group. But last we left off, our friends were facing off against a giant tidal wave cast in the middle of the woods. After some quick thinking, 1.5 of our heroes was able to survive the wave as it approached using a gift they had just received. Pierce was able to use his immovable rod to help in grabbing Buka before the wave took him over, but unfortunately, Val not as lucky. As the wave hit them, fully thrown off the side of a cliff, Val dropped to 0, falling and slipping into unconsciousness. With that happening, she was resuscitated, brought back by this underwater being who seemed to have taken a liking and seemed to have held some level of pity towards Val and resuscitated her so that she was brought back from the brink of death. With that, she introduced herself as Merilith. She gave her a tear that Val has not looked at yet. Left a tear in her hands, closed her hands, and then sent her on her way back to her friends. They continued on as she reached the surface, and Buka and Pierce were able to get her out of the water, out of these choppy and chilly waters. They climbed back up, and after a little investigating and seeing the destruction that the wave caused, they realized that it was caused by an individual, as they found a pair of footprints and no footprints leading in or out. With that little bit of information that they had, they rested for the night, woke up the next morning, and continued on their journey north in pursuit of Mr. Greeneye. After reaching the town of Veltar, they went into a nice little brandy and whiskey bar and then saw a man with disheveled gray hair in the distance on the other side of the bar, looking at them with one glowing green eye. And that is where we are now.
Can I argue a little bit before we start?
Sure.
I got a nat 20 and you still decided to kill me, but I get it for the point of the plot. Anyway, that's it.
When did you get a nat 20?
When I
She got a nat 20
died.
on one of her, not her saves, or was it a deck save or something?
Yeah.
You needed to hit like a 24 or something, right?
He allowed you to swim through the water with the nat
To
20.
swim. That's when you start swimming through
I don't
moving
remember.
water.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to bring up.
I think in the peak of my powers, if I were to be thrown into a shore break at Sandy's Beach, I still don't think I could swim through a wave that was crashing on me. I don't know.
A
That's it.
true
And that's
little
it.
tidal wave.
It's just a little wave too.
That's it. That was just I just wanted to bring it up for the public. Anyway,
Is
thank
there a
you.
more dissatisfied natural 20? Tune in next week and find out.
With that, you guys see Morg is making his way down, serving different patrons down the bar, and then does drop off a drink in front of this individual. At this point, individual looks back down, goes back to his almost finished meal. But what would you guys like to do?
Because we had obviously noticed him staring at us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buko almost chokes on his Thornhill Gold. And I slowly look to my right or away from Mr. Greeneye, back at the group. I think he's here.
Guy with the green eye?
Yeah.
That does look like a green eye.
We just was he looking at, did he look at me? Did he look at you? I don't.
There's only one place an eye can look. Did you make eye contact with green eye contact?
Yes, I think so.
All right, we'll go talk to him.
Okay. Buka doesn't move.
No, after you.
Right. Buka chugs the rest of his Thornhill gold.
Nice.
Slams it back down on the counter. Stands up. Pierce, did you want to go talk to Mr. Greeneye?
Huh? I think I get tired of this interaction and just start walking over.
Did you want me to go with you?
Yes, please.
Well, as you start to make your way forward, as the other two are still talking and deciding this, you make your way past the bar. And again, not incredibly crowded, but you could tell that there is a decent amount of business that seems to be taking place here. You make your way over, and there is an open spot next in the seat next to his.
So Val gets there first.
Yes, I do get there first because you guys are bickering.
Cool. As you sit down, he doesn't finish or doesn't stop eating, but you hear him speak without looking at you and just say, "About time that you made your way over. I've been eyeing you guys since you walked in, trying to give you guys signals, subtly, of course. Did you make it here safely? Any troubles on the road?"
We made it here for sure.
Made it here safely.
Safely is
trouble.
a relative
Oh,
term.
as he hears Pierce's voice behind, "Oh, you guys finally decided to join the conversation. Okay. They're not bolted into the ground, but they are like bar chairs. So he starts to shimmy. You guys hear just like this gentle like squeak on the ground as he moves a little bit to the side to allow a little bit more room at the bar for you guys. Just all made it here. This is I figured a good place to meet up. You got my message, yes?
I look at Buka. Like, did you get?
Your message?
Yes, my message.
I don't think we did.
I sent a messenger out, and then I also sent out a raven with a message.
I don't think we've received it.
I don't think there was a tsunami.
I'm sorry, what?
Tidal wave. I was getting there before Pierce interrupted me when he said safely.
We're safe now, is what I meant.
We're safe.
The coast got hit by a tidal wave.
The forest.
It came from the forest.
Maybe we should. He grabs the drink, also a matching Thornhill Gold, just fully downs it, goes into his pocket, rummages, pulls out 2 silver, slides it down, kind of gives a polite nod to Morg, the bartender, and then just says, maybe we should speak in my residence.
Sure.
He just stay a few 10 feet behind me, and then gets up and then makes his way out. Do you guys follow?
Yeah, I follow him.
Wait 5 seconds and then follow.
Well, yeah.
As he starts to walk, go ahead and give me perception checks.
So good at these.
14. 16.
18.
Right on. You guys all notice as you finally see him standing up, walking, a couple different things. One, again, about shoulder length, salt and pepper hair. Seems to be, don't know if it's just unkeptness, the wind. It's just big hair. He is wearing gloves. He's wearing all in very similar dark green, very like even darker than forest green clothing, all seeming to match. Has on a cloak that as he starts to make his way out, he puts it up, is wearing again similar colored pants. Even though with the boot, you can tell that he seems to be walking with like a limp of some kind. Moves quickly enough, but then as he seems to be walking, it seems to be that there is like an injury of some kind on his right leg. And then as you guys, because you guys all rolled pretty high, as he goes and grabs the handle, even though he's wearing a glove, there's a portion where like the shirt and the glove he's wearing, there's like a where you would normally see a patch of skin, and you just see metal. As he also seems to have a prosthetic arm of some kind. Goes, grabs it, and then makes his way out into the city of Vaelthar. You guys follow along, and he again is moving with a pretty decent amount of speed, even with that limp. He makes his way past people. Again, it seems to be at this point later in the afternoon, so people are finishing any kind of businesses. It seems people are going to restaurants. And as he leaves what seems to be the market district, starts going to the more residential part of Vailthar, kind of more quiet, not as many people at this hour. And he eventually leads you through a couple different like of the streets until you see that he walks into a town that or into a house that has a beautiful picket fence. Seems to have like a small patch of grass and wildflowers growing in the front, and he goes into this fairly well kept house. Go ahead and give me a final round of perception checks as you guys make your way into the house.
17.
24.
22.
22. You hear the distant sound of thunder coming from the east, where the coast is, where the water is. And then you guys smell rain, and it seems like a storm is approaching at some point soon. You guys make your way into the house. It's a small house. It seems to be like just like a one bedroom. You notice a kitchen straight ahead, and you guys are currently in a living room. But as you guys make your way in, at this point, it seems he has taken off his cloak, and he looks at all of you and just says, "Please mind the mud that you track in." And you see that he has taken off his boots as he walks around, and you guys notice also on his right side a prosthetic metal foot.
This is awesome. Puka also takes off his boots that he doesn't have. He has wraps, I think, that we talked about. So I think I undo the wraps and kind of just wipe my feet off at the door.
Cool. Everyone keeps their boots, does the same.
Yeah, I take mine off.
Take off boots. Shoes belong not in the house.
I agree. Please make yourselves at home. And he points to just two small couches. Again, all open at this point. The only thing is you could tell that there is a door that leads into what you would presume to be a bedroom. That door is closed, but he walks into the kitchen and then gets has a stove. And you see that there is like a small gem. You guys have seen this, and well, realistically, the people probably would have seen something more akin to this would be when you guys were all living in the actual castle. But again, it's like the house itself is pretty humble, but there are little things here and there that not necessarily wealth, but are a little bit more like arcanely like made. And so there is a little bit more like analog things, but you notice that there is a stove that has like a small gem on it, puts his hand on it, and it goes from unlit to a slightly like red glow. And you see that the stovetop starts to alight slightly. There's like heat emanating. Grabs a kettle, fills it up with water, puts it on. And just says, it's just a tea for anybody that would like some, but it should be ready in a minute or so. Stay standing in the kitchen. So, what is this about a tidal wave?
Val, you want to take this one?
The tidal wave started from the middle of the forest. We think it was a targeted attack. It roughed me up pretty bad. Pierce and Buko luckily held their ground,
Puka flexes.
but we made it out. That's what matters. But we don't know who or why.
This is not good, but not unaccounted for. I just didn't think that you would all be investigated or found out this quickly, but they couldn't stop you all, so that's wonderful. Here in Vailthar, there's, I think, enough movement in and out that it would be hard to track you all, at least immediately. And so there is different wardings here in the house that help prevent from any scrying or any form of people watching. But there's nothing I can promise for when you leave here. So I would say that any planning that we will do, we probably can do it here. There's not a lot of room, gestures to where you guys are staying, but you're all more than welcome to rest here for the night and then continue on tomorrow. But we've been receiving notices from the Archforge of an attack that happened. Obviously, we've heard about the attack on the academy, but the Archforge has been a little bit more hesitant, I think, with the full scope of the details, but it seems that you all were at the attack.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we were. How much did the Archforge share exactly?
Just that there were some friends of his that were going up north, and that he is currently working alongside the Queen of Numir.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm assuming you are all Numerian, yes?
We
Yes.
are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You've traveled far, so unfortunately, a lot of travel has been limited. All of the teleportation circles, I'm sure you've all learned very quickly, are currently all deactivated at this point. And so the trek north will be a little bit more worrisome, I think, if you don't have a quick exit. But you all seem capable enough. But other than that, though, he just shared that it was my duty to make sure that you all get informed as much as you possibly can before you continue up north. But other than that, that's all I really have for you. So takes
So you,
the head
yeah,
off.
you did mention that you tried to send letters to us. As far as information that were in those, is that, I mean, what you shared, is that kind of what was in those, or was there other?
No, I would never send information like that through correspondences. But it was simply to check in and to tell you where to meet up with me.
Mm.
And so I didn't receive any notice back, and so I figured either they couldn't find you or something worse had happened. But it seems they did have find you, but you all made it through safely. But this is worrisome indeed. I lost one of my favorite birds in the process. So
He didn't
I'm
come
Victor,
back.
sorry.
no, Victor will be avenged. Though.
Dang. Well, now that we're here, we we do have some more travel to do. You got any tips for us? Any places to avoid or
I mean, the beauty of the roads is that as obviously you all were attacked, but in general they are fairly they're used fairly commonly, and so the idea of a sneak attack happening does happen less frequently. Obviously, not points to you guys impossible, but people use these roads for commerce, for travel, for vacationing, and so it's not like there's a lack of use of them. And so, fortunately, uh, there shouldn't be something like this that happens. At least if they're trying to maintain an air of mysteriousness, I guess. But obviously, they could still do an all-out attack. But it doesn't seem like they're trying to make their hand known at this point.
right? And is there any word of a group or person that could have produced a 100-foot tidal wave?
No, that is powerful magics.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad you're all alive.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But and then at this point, he has started to pour water and then is preparing teas, and so has a small little tray, comes out and then sits with you guys at the living room, and then sets everything down in front of you guys. Well, you all made it here, and so I think it's best if we inform you and get you as prepared as possible. So the big thing, I'm sure, is that you are all sent to investigate about a Archforge told me to inform you guys about the rock.
Right.
Mhm.
Specifically a feather. Would one feather kind of stick out to you as far as historical significance or any stories that have been shared in this area?
I mean, we've shared stories of just the rock. Just as a, I've been here. I'm not from this part of Stakaria, but I've lived in these northeast regions for a long time. And I mean, the story just goes that the rock lives up high in the Skyfang range, and there are, I mean, stories of houses being built from the feather of a rock used as the roof. These are massive creatures. They've become a thing of legend. They roamed many millennia ago, and they're not really known for being as common now as ever since the era of Titanfall. But since then, they exist, but even then, I haven't seen one in my lifetime. But the rumors still exist. The occasional sightings still do.
Okay.
But
So so people have seen rocks recently.
so the last reported story of any sightings was probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. I think that's recent enough as I look around the room.
Yeah.
It
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it's a large bird-ish thing. So I don't expect there to be a lot of rocks.
Not anymore.
Hmm.
But they've have been creatures of old. So the feather of a rock is not. I don't think there's any story in particular about a feather, but from what the Archforge had shared, they're using this hopefully, or they're attempting just to retrieve a feather. So rocks are incredibly territorial beings. They roost incredibly high, and so that's why sightings typically are uncommon. They live in the peaks of incredibly tall mountains. So seeing them is not something that you could just commonly do.
Right. So step 1, get into the Skyfang Mountains.
Don't
Step
die.
2, don't die. Well, I feel like that's a lingering basis of our plan. Don't die.
Mhm.
Step 2, go bird watching.
I feel
It's
like less bird watching and the bird's going to watch us. So don't
great.
die. Bye, bird.
Hmm. I guess that'll make it easier, right? Do we?
I don't
Okay,
think we want them to see us. We'd have to sneak up on this on the rock.
Well, I think finding it would probably be your first challenge.
hmm Is there a rumor of a hunting ground for the rock?
The entirety of the Skyfang range.
Perfect.
Again, massive creatures, massive,
hmm
and so their sightings typically are also not just in one location necessarily. But again, I was asked to investigate over the last few weeks, and so according to the last sighting and the last theory that some of the individuals up north have is that there is a nest that was being formed. And so this was what the last sighting said. And now again, it's also only through secondhand knowledge of it from an old journal that somebody else found, because they never found the author of the journal. They found the journal out in high in the sky thing. And
Did anybody ever investigate the nest?
there was two groups that were sent out. Believe they were never heard from again. And
Great.
Oh.
so typically I think they've learned to not invest as much time or resources into it. But part of it too, again, I'm not saying it's the rock necessarily. The range itself is incredibly dangerous, both
hmm
just the weather, the incredible height, as well as it's a place away from society. And so there are random roves of bandits that will sometimes use it as hideaways. There are people that live in the Skyfang range that aren't always as keen on outsiders. And so those are always dangers of being there.
Are there any
Yeah.
other dangerous creatures or animals that live in the range?
There's a few, typically because of the depending on where you are in elevation in the mountain, there are animals that are a little bit more akin to harsher cold weather, as well as any type of creature that does typically live in more harsh cold environments. So the first challenge would probably be making sure that you don't freeze to death.
Hmm.
You guys knowing that you have your rings, this is a huge less concern for you guys, but and so making sure you don't freeze to death. But other than that, though, there are obviously beings and creatures that tend to manifest in isolated places, and so that'll be a big part of it. But I think if anything, your first round of investigation would probably be reaching Sablefen, which is at the base of the Skyfang range. And so, but from there, you probably have the easiest access to reaching the academy. And so, Val,
It
you would have probably heard of there is a magical academy. This one specifically is the study of the arcane known as Whisperfen Spire. But you have heard of it? You know, it's like one of the two major schools that are in Stakaria. But
Would they be
yeah,
rivals?
if there were sports, yes, they would.
This has to be magical sports.
There is, as far as you know, but a big part of it is Lenith is truly where a lot of it's a little different. So kind of just a quick again something that Val would know is that Lenith is traditionally a lot more affluent in very, I guess, secular ways. People like very, very influential families that own massive businesses, work with royal families, things more along that nature. Whisperfen is typically more arcanely influential. People that are families or groups, organizations that do more arcane innovations and studies the teleportation. So again, also the academy incredibly old. The use of teleportation circles exists because of some organization or group 3,000 years ago that decided to create these around Sullivan. So incredibly old.
is Whisperfen and Sablefen like next door neighbors ish? Or are they
Um,
like same place?
so Sablefen is the city that it would be based out of, and you would head up into the mountains, and then
And
usually
then up from the mountains from Sablefen is where Whisperfen
the academy
Spire is.
itself is correct. Yes, the academy
Ah,
itself is built into the side of the mountain.
great. Yes. You can tell they got into real estate early.
About 3,000-4,000 years ago. Yes, so
Yeah.
they picked the good time to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there is again the most amount of information would probably be there because the academy is typically the one that will send groups to do research, and they have the funding, so they can definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the city of Sablefen? I mean, a reflection of this academy? I mean, is it a little bit more affluent? Is it a little bit more? I'm thinking maybe a smaller town, but being so close to the mountains, normally that would be kind of a small town vibe, but maybe not this one.
No, so there are a lot of people that end up staying. So not everybody is always allowed an invitation into the academy itself. Walking up to the gates themselves don't always allow entrance in. And so a lot of times, like if a mage of some type would be making a trek with a group, or they have servants or helpers or workers, they would typically stay in Sablefen, and only the invited would go into the academy.
Hmm.
So how do we get invited?
I think that's something for you all to figure out. I mean,
Mm.
there's a couple different ways. I mean, you can request an audience with a high septon,
Mm-hmm.
and so not impossible, but incredibly unlikely. But again, people do petition help and assistance sometimes. And
Mm.
so that is a way of doing it, endearing yourselves to someone that either works there or attends
Mm-hmm.
there.
Quick reminder, is the territory we're in, was the household, what side was that household on during the battle?
As far as you guys know, on the side of the Archforge, this is House
Okay, great.
Kael'morgan,
Gilmore.
also known as the Lords and Ladies of the Iron Coast.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple different ways you could try to sneak in. And so, I mean, if you guys would like, we could use this evening to try and maybe come up with a plan. And I can reach out to some contacts. I've already have heard back from two that unfortunately don't have a way in, but I'm still waiting to hear back from one more of a possible way in. And then this is the one that is probably the most difficult one for me to get a yes from. But if they say yes, it would grant you guys easier access into Whisperfen. So
Great. Do we have to wait long for that contact, or is there anything we can do in the meantime?
you're more than welcome to to spend time here or visit the town. I should be receiving notice in the next by tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Would it be a silly idea to ask the Archforge to reach out to House Kilmore? Does House Kilmore have as much influence over the Academy as they do over their entire region?
yes. Honestly, possibly even more so.
Oh, great. Is that a silly idea? Should we
We can
avoid
reach out.
asking the
I
house
mean,
for
Reach
help?
out.
technically, we're not. I mean, obviously, this house isn't against us, but as the Archforge kind of mentioned to us, our travels is not necessarily known.
Right.
There's no telling where people are listening and or what side somebody might truly be on.
Also,
Like
if
for the
I
most
feel
part,
like he wanted to, he would have already. Like
yeah.
if he what is it? If he could, he no. If he wanted to, he would. Yeah.
If he could have, he would have.
Yeah. Ladies.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're more than welcome to send the requests. Again, worst that happens is he says no and we're just on the same boat as before.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess you're right. We should first explore our options to try to find our own ways in. Great. Do we think Whisperfen has more information on the feather?
Yes, definitely. If they are as researched as my school.
Hmm. Do we think maybe they have the feather?
Mm,
No.
they might have a feather,
They might have.
like we
I mean,
talked
we
about.
could check, but
Right. If the school is as old as they're supposed to be, and rocks have been less active in recent years, they could, right?
does
Yeah,
the
I mean,
spell specifically say it needs a new feather? Like, does the feather expire for the spell that they're trying to do?
You guys can go ahead and give me Arcana checks.
I'm super good at Arcana. I got a 5.
I also
Mhm.
got a 5. No, wait, that's a 9. I got an 8.
Nate,
like I got a 5.
you aren't sure. You aren't positive if it requires, like, you don't know the specifics of how like fresh an item needs to be. You do know that there are times when there are certain, even with your guys' like limited magical knowledge, you know that there are times when certain spell components do require something to be older, but you are not sure because you also don't know what spell is being cast or what
Right.
spell is being attempted. So I would say right now, that lower number that you guys all rolled is
Mhm.
more akin to lack of information on the spell as a whole.
Do you think Whisperfen would have information on the spell?
I mean,
Possibly.
I'd be surprised if they didn't, knowing that it's. I mean, it's an Academy of Magic, and this is a spell probably older
An
than
old
even
spell,
the
right?
Academy
It's
and or as old as the Academy.
probably in their deepest depths of the library, like the
Yeah.
forbidden section.
Well, and being in the region that the rock is found,
Right.
I mean, having specific knowledge of spells that require it would be something that they would have.
Hmm.
So I also just, I mean, there's a good chance that they have rock feathers, whether it be for spells or part of the like architecture of the academy, or I mean, maybe both. Like you
Interesting.
said,
Yeah.
like it is old. So early on, when they established the academy, the feathers may not have been as rare, and so using it in the structure and architecture of the academy wouldn't have been nearly as like odd or difficult.
Right. So we have to get in with the librarian.
We have to get in first in general.
Right. Can we ask for an academic visit? Can we, is it a school project? I look at Val. Can we request information on that premise?
Looks over. Do you attend Leneth?
I do attend Leneth, yes.
I mean, that honestly might not be out of the reach of an inquiry.
Oh, like
Her visit
I
as a
would like
student.
a tour of the campus to see if I like it better.
I mean, you could be
A
working
transfer student?
on your thesis as well and just need information.
Yeah.
It's
So, I
true.
mean, and obviously, the more influential a family is, I know in Leneth, their money talks. And so I think depending on how influential your family is, that could also hold a little bit more sway in achieving an invitation or at least being allowed entrance. You might not necessarily be allowed to every part of the academy using that method, but it might at least allow you a way in. And then, like Buka had mentioned, perhaps a chance to at least explore the library. And then from there,
Buka points at Val. She's got money, so we should be okay.
I that I would like to base my self-worth not on my money or my class that was established by my parents, Buka.
Yes,
that sounds
but
wonderful.
but we can use it.
100%. At this point, Mr. Greeneye is fully stood up and it seems to have walked to his room. Door opens and then he comes back with like a paper and quill and a little bit of ink and just says, I mean, we can send out the letter today and then we could probably get notice. It's not that far. We could probably get notice by tomorrow morning, whether it's a yes or a no. Do you have any kind of seal or anything familial that would be like to show your family crest?
Would I have a seal?
I would say you have something.
I feel like I would have a piece of jewelry that we could use as a stamp to stamp on there, or like to impress like wax.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's just say I have a ring. I'm like, this has our family's crest in it. We could press some wax into the letter, and
Yeah.
hopefully that's enough.
Yeah. He starts to write a letter, and then just basically asking for being allowed in to do. Well, is the message going to be more along the lines of attempting to transfer, or at least just trying to like see the school, or for like I guess like a school project?
Would the students here need to show like exemplary like magical skill to get in? Like, is that
Not necessarily.
okay?
There is a large portion of the students that do learn magic, but the study of is not always intrinsically tied to the use of.
Right.
Let's say that I'm working on my final, like one of my like big final projects to set up like a thesis to graduate from the academy and then from Leneth, and I'm looking into graduate programs that would let me explore my more magical side of myself and
Yeah.
throw in that we could, if I were to enjoy what the school had to offers, that we could possibly build a new facility of some sort for them.
Go
An
ahead.
archery range.
No, that
Uh,
wouldn't be. My father wouldn't want his name on that.
Oh, okay.
With that, go ahead and roll. What do I want?
What do you want? What do you want?
Persuasion, deception.
Could be persuasion. Could be deception. This isn't. No, I think like this could be like this is also genuine because I think like Val would want to like pursue like higher education to also stay away from home after this adventure.
Especially if you have enjoyed Lenith, even if it's mainly been because of your essentially more parental figures there.
Mhm.
Because he's the one that's writing it, but I'll say that Val's the one basically drafting the message because this is supposed to be a letter from Val. You're gonna add, so go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage
Mm.
and go ahead and add a +2 to this.
Can I bardic as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first one was a 16 plus 2 and an 18. Can I get
I
no?
had her
Well,
on the
stick.
back. You got this.
What does Bardic do again? Do I add
D8.
Go ahead and roll a
D8?
D8.
Perfect. Where is my D8? There is my D8. So okay, we have 16 plus 2, 18. That was the highest. Plus the D8. 2, so 20.
Yes. Let's go. Okay.
Come on.
Perfect. So with a 20, he starts to draft the message, and then you're wording things in a way that someone that's a bit more like highborn raised would word things. So then the message is drafted. He folds it up. He grabs just a nearby candle, allows a little bit of the wax to like settle, and then you're able to emboss on the wax as it creates a seal, and it starts to dry up. He takes a look at it and then just says, "Oh, you're one of the condos."
Yes.
Florentina, how have you been?
So
I
good. Did you sign it as Florentina?
No, I just said from. Oh, well, I was hoping that the family we usually wouldn't, but all right. Oh no, I guess he would have asked before even the embossing. I'll say this conversation happens as you sign
Okay.
your name, and then
Okay.
so we'll retcon this for a few seconds back. So then you sign off on it. He takes a
Mhm.
look at it, folds it up, and then allows some of the grabs a nearby candle, allows some of the wax to settle, and you emboss it. And so the conversation follows. As he's taking a look at it, he looks at you and just says, "Valentina, I thought your name was Florentina."
What? No. What do you mean?
Oh, my apologies. I mean, you are this the daughter of Valmeris and Asonia, yes?
Yes,
Florentina, yes.
Florentina. No.
Do
Who?
do you
Where
have a
did you get that?
Do you have a
I
sister?
Not to my knowledge. Is
Oh,
Where did you get this information? Hold on.
Intimidation, intimidation, intimidation.
go ahead and roll and go ahead and do so with advantage.
I don't want to intimidate him. I just want to know
Or
if
you
I
can do
have.
persuasion.
I would like to be persuasive and not intimidate. He
Yeah.
hasn't pissed me off. Like, this isn't. Either way, it's still +0, so it doesn't matter. It's a 16 with advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
An 18.
Can I attempt to roll? This isn't my strong suit, but I want to roll insight on Val
Mhm.
to see if I feel like she's feeling concerned or like worried in this
Yeah,
moment.
go
I
ahead and
have
roll. Anybody
so
would like
much
to,
concern.
anything that anybody would like to roll, you do it.
I
I
would
have
like
so
to
much
roll
concern.
performance to keep my cool during this moment as I found out about a potential different name or
No, no
different
himbo
person.
today.
Ooh.
Got an 18.
18. What's Val feeling in this moment?
Confused. Very, very confused. Very off put. I have always been an only child, to my knowledge, so this would definitely be life breaking, my world breaking experience. I am just curious and a little mad as to where this is coming from. So that's where I'm at.
Can I can I ask a question to Val specifically to kind of get
Mhm.
an idea of like what I'm looking for with my role?
Yeah.
I guess more so trying to you're just knowing you've always been the distrustful person in the group. Do I feel like you're losing trust in this man that we are attempting to work with? Or is
No.
it more concern curiosity for the information that he has being like you don't think he's lying or not who he says he is, but that you just think the information he's getting, like you're confused of what it's even about.
The second one for sure, because
Okay.
he would know my family crest. He knows my parents' name. You have to know something about this family. And yeah, he knows too much to be lying
Right.
about
Okay.
this.
Cool. Pierce is chilling.
Cool. But just obviously keeping an eye on
Yeah.
what is unfolding. This is the first time you see him look sheepish in a way of not that he got caught, but just did I say something that I wasn't supposed to say?
Mm.
And I'll say that Pierce gets this as well with that 18 insight. As I think with that 18 insight, you're reading the situation as
Right.
and just says, my apologies. No, I was always under the assumption that they had a daughter named Florentina, but my apologies.
No. I No need to apologize. I just really need to know where you got this like idea. I am distrustful of my father and mother for various reasons, but this could change everything. I just need to know if, like, I'm begging you, please tell me where you've heard this. Or
Um,
did they have multiple daughters or just one daughter? Or?
I was always under the assumption that they had only had the one. I attended Lenith a long time ago, but that's when I
Wait,
had.
when they were there?
Yes, I wasn't. I mean, we were schoolmates and acquaintances at best. We ran in different circles, but the close to the end of their term there, your mother had gotten pregnant, and then an announcement was made after the birth of their child.
Can
But
Val do the math if that with like what she knows about her parents about the year of like when she was born versus the year that they would graduate and this
this
announcement would have
is
been made?
this announcement would have been made 100 years apart.
Mm,
But again, elves age differently,
which is fine.
so
But
which is
then
fine.
They have
I
babies
wasn't
at different times in their
You know,
lives.
so
too,
for
I
like,
guess.
I think doing
That's
the
crazy.
math for Mr. Greeneye, him seeing somebody that looks like in their 20s, and someone that is about 100 that looks
They-
like in their 20s wouldn't be that like it
Right.
wouldn't look that different.
But the math, this
but the
this
math for
person-
Val.
right? This
There's a
person,
100-year gap of what
Yeah.
this information is.
Does this connect for Buka?
Go ahead and roll.
Too much random
Go-
information for
Go
me.
ahead
I
and
don't know what the
roll
heck's going on?
an
Because
intelligence.
I rolled an 11 for my performance to keep my cool.
Go ahead. So you're keeping your cool, I think, like
Okay.
slightly. Go ahead and roll an intelligence saving throw.
Huh.
He's sweating.
I got a 6.
You start to hyperventilate as you're trying to do math, and you're also you're realizing that one of your childhood best friends is also going through something traumatic right now.
I pull out 2 brown paper bags and I hand one to Val.
I think I swatted away. So
Mr. Greeneye goes for it.
no. I need you. We need to.
No, I can
lock
still
in.
talk. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I am only, how old am I? 18, 19,
19, I think.
19? I'm 19. So I am 19. My parents graduated more than 100 years ago.
Face goes so pale. No insight rolls necessary.
Where did she go?
I don't know. I just found out that you weren't the other.
Also, why are they using the same ending to the names? They're not I am a middle child. No, I'm the youngest child. This checks out. But I need to keep in contact with you after this somehow, some way. Please.
Yes, I don't know if I have any. I'm not fully aware of the family dynamics. I feel
You don't have to, and I'm not asking you to participate. I just, as questions come up, I just need to like have someone to fact check with, please.
Okay,
I will
yeah.
buy you another raven.
Thank you. I have a lot. Thank you.
I would go for a horse. She has lots of horses. If you
That would actually
Don't tell him that.
that would actually be helpful. But
You want a horse?
sure, I truly feel like I've stepped into a whoopsie daisy.
No, it's not. Do not feel bad. I am just in shock, and I would just do not feel bad. Do not take it out on yourself. It is between me and them, but I need resource of information just to fact check. So please do not feel bad, and please keep in contact.
Yes. Maybe I should make some more tea. Yes. And he gets up and walks into the kitchen. Obviously, open concept, but you guys are left alone slightly in the living room as you see that he's like kind of hands to his head. It's like, what did I do?
Val, do you have a sister?
Seems like it.
I hate to say it, but it makes me wonder if you have more than one sibling.
Probably.
You see that Mr. Greeneye across like,
Mr. Greeneye, one quick question, just to
yes,
just to clarify, I guess the information that you have.
yeah,
The last time you would have been in contact with her parents would have been at school, right?
yes, yeah.
It's not.
I
like
haven't spoken to them in a century.
Yeah, I mean, it's like then the announcement was made, you learn the name, and then 100 years later, you're now running into a daughter who's not who you thought it was.
Correct.
Okay.
They last I heard, child was born, and they started business down in Numir, and then we have just lived our own lives. But
Well, are your parents Numerian, and to Lilith, or are they Stakarian?
Oh, is this up to me?
Hmm?
Oh,
One of each, please.
yeah, that sounds right. I think that my mom would be Numerian, and then my dad would be Stikarian, and they met at school. So, I mean, I know they are, not I think. Some
I mean that.
yes,
Oh, dude, I guess do we know anything for sure now? You have a sister.
I have siblings probably. I just, in my head I always thought my dad would have been outside the marriage type of like children producing, but good to know that I have an older sibling from both of them.
I got another question for Val that you get essentially to make up in this moment. So then you have relatives on your dad's side in Stakaria somewhere?
Yes, but they lost contact with my father after he started his business, and there was a lot of bridges burned when he started his business and moved.
Was it the business or him leaving Stakaria?
Probably a
Or
combination of both.
maybe both.
And then him not wanting to help out financially with things. He really just ran away from his family.
Yeah. I mean, also just the possibility of maybe Florentina being in Stakaria. Maybe she, you know, decided that she wanted to be back here somewhere, wherever those relatives are, or just disagreements with
I've never
her
actually met
parents,
my
which you've
father's
experienced.
sides of the family, so I wouldn't know where to even begin looking.
Is she
I was
more?
always told horror stories of them. Yes.
She's she might be more rebellious than you are, if that's the
Or
case.
similarly, and she, against her parents' wishes, moved back to Stakaria, which is why no, I mean, you know your parents better than any of us, but we know your parents well enough that when people wrong them, disagree with them, they don't exactly take it well. So maybe in their heads, that she is no longer their daughter because she left.
I mean, regardless
Obviously,
of
not doesn't make it fair to
feelings,
you to not tell you, but still.
fair no. Do I put it past them? Also no. I I don't actually know how to feel right now.
Do you think Whisperfen might have? Well, this is a different region. I was going to ask if any of the schools have genealogical records.
I'm sure they do. She also could have gone to school out here because she didn't want to go to Lenith.
That would be cool if she
I
was
also
the librarian. This just saying. Wouldn't it be awesome if she was the librarian?
She
We
also
could
wouldn't know who I am
right. But
or
imagine
believe.
we can show up and say, "Hey, I'm related to you."
Surprise, shoddy.
I mean, I would guess. Obviously, we're speculating on what may have happened. She may not go by the last name Kondo anymore, but she'd obviously recognize it
And she'd
if you
recognize the crest and recognize.
yeah if you get a tour with this letter and she works at the school or attends the school, or I mean, we know her first name.
Right.
Maybe she doesn't even go by her first name anymore.
Right, she could have changed that too. So, I mean, there's a chance that maybe she changed her name completely. We're not going to know her, but she'll know who you are.
She'll know I have the last name. I don't know if she'll know who I am. Unless she's kept tabs on her parents.
Yeah,
I would.
I don't see her in a situation like that. If she did leave and come to live in
Mhm.
Stakaria, I would probably keep tabs
Right.
on my past
All in
family.
all, this is very exciting. And now we might be on a family reunion trip. Who knows?
Why does everything have to do with my family? I'm tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta eat. Well,
They have more connections than most.
your family's done a lot of big things.
Bad thing.
Right.
So I've brought some tea and some treats that you could all just
What kind of tea?
it's a Lady Grey. But please, I'm gonna go contemplate my life after
No,
dropping
no.
that information.
Would you like I have a bottle of wine we can share to celebrate me finding out of new familial connections and an alma mater of mine.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Mm.
And then he like sits down awkwardly, and you could tell he's just trying to melt into the couch. But you guys stay there for a little bit. Is there anything you guys would like to do as the evening closes out?
Mm, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I want a point where Val is just walking back and forth, pacing, like out loud, being like, "Hey, 100 years old, probably looks like me. Don't know where she is. Why do they keep lying to me? I," and just back and forth like that.
Puka is just agreeing with every statement that Val is saying. Right, right. About 100 years old. She,
Mhm.
I mean, definitely looks like you for sure. I don't know why your parents continue to lie to you. I think that's you. I mean, I guess that would require more talking, but
It's not lying if they withhold the truth. Why are they withholding the truth?
right, right.
She
Are
has the
there
bottle of wine in this point and is just drinking from the bottle.
Mr. Greeneye is fully just whatever y'all need in this moment. Right on. Evening closes out, and at this point, it's started. The sun is set at this point, and rain has started to fall at some point. And then there's a point where it seems that he started to prepare like a small dinner for everybody. The You guys can feel that the house is allowing a little bit of warmth as it is fully raining outside, as the heat from like the oven seems to be allowing a little bit of the cold to stay away. But there's a point where one of the windows by the kitchen, you guys just hear a gentle, and he walks over, opens up the window, and a fully disheveled crow hops in, and you could tell has just been in the rain for who knows how long. But then you see that Mr. Greeneye just says, "Oh, darling, please, please," and then puts the crow lands on his hand, puts it on his shoulders, closes the window, and then stands by the stove to allow some of the heat to emanate out as you see that the bird is attempting to dry itself a little bit.
Is this
Uh,
Victor?
Mr. Greenhouse just face just fully just like fully falls. No, this is Bella. But you see that there is a note attached to the the crow's foot. As he unfurls it, he says that response was very quick. Because at this point, the letter has already been sent out, but they've accepted your request to visit the library,
Hmm.
Okay.
and
Just
then
me or
uh,
friends too?
it honestly wouldn't be uncommon for a member of a high house to have an entourage.
Puka straightens up his vest. Yep. Entourage.
Luca, you
Um,
can't even spell entourage.
The, uh, I turned to Pierce. Why is she? I'm not gonna
Sorry,
take it personally.
I'm grumpy today.
No,
She's
okay.
upset.
She's
Yeah,
just been drinking. It's okay.
I've been trying to learn. I know all the letters. I think. Is there a T in entourage?
There is a T in entourage.
Dang. Well, I can almost spell
Can I
entourage.
see the letter?
yes, and then he goes and hands it to you. And again, it's a thin like letter. Like the crow itself is pretty large, but he hands it to you, and it just says, "Whisperfen would gladly receive a member of the condo family for possible transferring at the end of their academic career at Leneth Academy." And then there is an embossed seal at the bottom from Whisperfen.
Hmm.
We're in. So he goes.
Now I feel bad. I really would like to go here after school, but
I
We
mean, you
can
still could. You investigating doesn't mean you have to burn bridges while you're there.
hopefully. Hopefully.
right. So we go tomorrow.
Yeah, it would appear so. You guys could probably make it there. If you leave first thing in the morning, you guys could all probably make it there by tomorrow afternoon. And so with that, he brings out just like very, very simple bedding, helps move some of the couches to the side. And you guys rest for the night. Go ahead and if you guys need it, go ahead and mark a long rest.
Give me back my bardic inspiration.
Yo. Next morning, you all awaken to the sound of a bird eating food at the table nearby as Bella just seems to be going in on whatever food that Mr. Greeneye seems to have left out. But you all waking up, and at this point, you guys start to smell just coffee as it's
Mm.
being prepared in the morning as Mr. Greeneye is already there. At this point, he's just wearing just like very like loose fitting pants, like a loose shirt, and you guys can see in full detail his prosthesis of his arm and his leg.
Does it look arcane battery powered or more so connected to his actual body and nerves and stuff?
It seems to be connected to his actual body and nerves. But go ahead and give me a perception check. Will you take a look?
Perfect.
I would
Because-
also like to perceive.
Yeah, you guys can do this as you guys are all sitting at the table getting some coffee.
16. Outside of perception check, because you said it earlier, what arm and what leg was it?
Right arm, right leg.
Thank Ooh, half the body.
I got a 12.
12. I'll say
Mhm.
even with a 12, you can tell that it is very well made. And I think you just notice that it's not with a 12, it's not like a prosthesis that it's like a full covering. Like it's not plated shut. So you can
Mm.
see the inner working of it where you could tell that there is some level of machinery and a lot of gears, but it seems to be fully in function, like still like using his own nerve endings and his mind and stuff like that as that's happening. With the 16, as you can see the inside of it, Val, you notice that there is a section of it that it's kind of hard to see when he's walking around or just moving. But again, there's a portion where he is just sipping on his coffee because also when you guys met him, he was wearing long sleeve and wearing gloves as well. So it would hide this, but seeing it out in the open, you do notice that inside of the arm are blades that seem to be able to, you don't know if shoot out or just they stick out and he can stab people with it, but it does seem like he has his own form of protection as well.
Metal. Love that.
Uh, but at this point, looks not as distraught as he did the evening before. But looks at everybody and just says, "So I would say just hold on to this letter, and then it would allow you all entrance in." But there is, and then now that it's daytime and just where the sun is, he goes to the kitchen where originally Bella had made their way in the night before, and you notice that there are it seems like attached to it. It's like chicken wire on the outside of it, but you do notice that there is a rookery attached to the outside of it where are multiple. It doesn't seem like Victor and Bella were the only birds that he has
Mhm.
at his disposal. It seems that he had kept maybe Bella inside to make sure that she's dried off, but it does have a roof and making sure that they do stay dry. But he goes and does a sharp whistle, and then you can hear as soon as he opens the window, you can hear all the birds. But he does a sharp whistle, and then one of the birds jumps through the window and ends up making their way towards him, lands on the palm, and then he places places the bird by Bella, and then they both seem to now be kind of eating away. But he looks at you guys and just says, "It might help to have a eye in the sky." And so this is Azalea, one of my better trained birds, who has served me well in many years. But I think Azalea could help provide a little bit of warning in case there's ever any danger afoot.
Thank you.
And then so he goes, and then he does another similar whistle, and then that bird finishes eating, goes towards them, and then he cups the bird's face a little bit and just says, Azalea, you're going to be helping these fine people. And he points to everybody at the table and just says, don't eat their food unless they say it's okay. And then there's almost like a very upset like whistle, and then no arguing. Don't eat their food unless they say it's okay. But make sure you keep an eye on them and then warn them of any danger. And just another, and then goes back to the rest of the table, and then hops over, and then is in front of Pierce, looks up, cocks their head, and then does a small little nod, hops over to where Val is, looks up, another nod, goes over to Buka and does the same thing. And then once that's done, seems to go back to eating. Azalea will serve you well. She doesn't love the cold, but so I would say whenever you're able to, try to keep her warm.
We'll keep
But
her
that,
warm.
yes, but she wonderful perception, so she'll help with any danger that might be approaching on the road ahead or behind. So that's the best gift I can offer you all.
Thank you.
Azalea can send you notes too, right? She knows her way back home.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how we can keep in touch then.
Yes. I will say it might be more difficult for her to track you all if you're all on the road. So it's not a guarantee that she would be able to find her way back to you
No, later though.
later. Yes. Yes, please bring my bird back. But as far as correspondences along your journey, they might not necessarily be as possible just with that. But no, I wish you assistance, and obviously once you finish, you're more than welcome to find rest and refuge here on your way back. And I think with that, you guys finish up a small breakfast. Again, very simple. You guys finish up the coffee, and then just says, well, I wish you safe journeys, and please take care of Azalea, and Azalea, please take care of them. And you guys make your way out. At this point, it is early in the morning. It is so muddy outside. But as you guys make your way out of town, you eventually make your way to the actual main road that, again, it seems through magical means is, you could tell that rain went through here, but it's not, there's no massive puddles. There seems to be, again, magical ways that it stays easily accessible for people that are traveling. And you guys travel on. Is there anything you guys would like to do? Because you guys are about to do a full day of just travel.
We're fully stocked on everything we need, right?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Should we take a bottle of Thornhill Gold with us? And Booker kind of smiles shyly. It's kind of, I mean, it'll be kind of cold, and it can help with keeping us warm. I look at Pierce.
How many bottles do you want?
How long? Pierce goes,
We
I have
can put
one
it
hand,
we
two
can put it in the
hands.
bag of holding.
Oh, great. How many days is it until we get there?
We can come back to
Right. It'll be like a day's travel, and then
5. Let's get 5 bottles.
oh yeah, okay.
How much would that be?
Oh, I know because I work at a bar. 1 gold.
It would be 7 gold for all of it.
Oh, great.
Here, you can have 7 gold. Oh, and then here's the bag of holding, so you don't. Give me back the bag after.
Okay.
You go into the Three Oaks Tavern that you guys were in before, and then you are able to, very confused look. At this point, it's fully different servers and bartenders, but they're like, yes. And then they are able to just sell you the bottles easily enough. And you guys have a bit of spirits to help with raising your guys' spirits on the road to Sablefen, as that is the next journey. Almost immediately leaving the town of Vaelthar, where you guys have been, you guys are traveling north along this main, stone that is now, again, blue and silver stone that lets you guys know that you guys are within the boundaries of House Kaelmar. Almost immediately, as you guys go up a hill, you see the full, as far as the eye can see, but the full magnificence of the Skyfang range, as you see these massive mountains in the distance. that fully just jut their way through the clouds. And at this point, most of the clouds after the rain from the night before have parted. So it's only partially overcast. It's honestly not that many clouds. No, but in the distance you can see these like heavy roiling clouds that seem to be a permanent fixture in the Skyfang range. But you guys travel for a full day. Again, seeing people here and there. But as you start to make your way further and further and further north, you feel the rings on your hands start to truly activate for the first time, as it's not snowing, but there is a point in that second day that you feel the temperature is just colder than you guys have experienced, probably for Buka, probably ever.
I think now we pull out that first bottle. I look at Pierce. Should we have a couple walk me downs?
Here, I just toss them a bottle.
Okay.
Bloop, 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 bloop. As you guys, I'll say you guys pretty much kill one of the bottles that first night. As you guys finish your trek a little early that day. On the second day, you guys are traveling. At this point, part of it is maybe the cold. You realize that you probably won't reach Sablefen until the third day. Distance-wise, you don't feel like it's that far, but as you start, getting closer to this area, it does start to snow gently. And then you feel that maybe traversing the night in the cold and the snow, and even with the rings, as visibility starts to become more and more limited, you may start to try to find a place to stay. As you guys are looking around, the water's still to the right of you guys. At this point, it's probably about a 40-foot drop. And you guys know that there are areas, obviously, where the drop is a lot more. But as you guys are traveling with the woods a little bit to the west, go ahead and give me... At this point, it's like later in the afternoon. Go ahead and give me perception or survival. And I will say that Azalea will do the same.
Not 20.
Nice.
Very cool. With having Azalea as like eyes in the sky, Val, this is what you've trained for. This is something that you're incredibly well adept at, as you realize that you're trying to find shelter in the woods. There is a point where Nat 20 is so good. You find it a patch of younger trees. I'll say it's a 20 survival with because what does it end up being?
Or survival?
Yeah,
Or survival will be 23, perception would be 26.
26. We'll meet it in the middle somewhere. So you realize as you are trying to find it, some of these trees again are incredibly old. You could just tell by like the way that they're gnarled, the way they're shaped, their actual height. As you're trying to find like a good place where you guys can rest for the night, there is a huge patch of trees a little bit deeper into the woods that you realize they're so old. But as you're looking at them, Val probably being the only one in this party that can realize that, you realize that they become younger as they go in, which is the reverse of how forests work. Deeper in is the original part of the woods, and they extend out.
Mhm.
And so there's a part of your brain that is just like, well, this is odd. This is weird. And then up above, maybe about 100 feet up in the sky, you hear Azalea do like a crow call, and then seems to be circling an area about 100, 200 feet ahead of you guys. You guys are already like deep into the woods at this point. Excuse me. Sun is setting. Everyone, go ahead and give me one final round of perception check. And you can do so with advantage as you have Azalea circling above.
I got a nat 20
12.
on the second roll.
Dirty 20.
Would have been a 4.
Pierce, with a nat 20, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, and go ahead and do it with advantage.
Dex save. It's going to be 17.
17. You find a patch, and as you're looking, you realize that a lot of the growth of these trees is not on ground, it's on stone. And as you step forward to investigate more of this, one of the stones in the ground just fully like falls through, and you're able to hang on to one of the lower branches of a tree that you're nearby, and you're able to pull yourself up. All of you guys just hear the sound of the stone and everything that just happened. Azalea makes her way down, lands on Buka's shoulder, and with that nat 20 perception check, the sound of the stone, you hear it fall into some expanse below you, and you expect a sound to come, and then it takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds, as it falls somewhere deep below. What would you guys like to do?
I look around. What are we? Kind of trying to stay light on my feet. What are we on right now? Are we on the top of something? I didn't feel like we went that high.
It's
Yeah, I think
probably built into the mountain or the forest or the ground.
And then so as you start to look around, there's an area, and at this point you guys obviously are careful. You guys start to step away a little bit. You guys walk maybe like, as you guys are investigating, you walk around 20, 30 feet, and there's a point where now that you guys are aware of it, the stone becomes ground, and then you're able to take a look around. You realize that it is like a circle, of some kind, massive, like probably like 100-foot diameter of stone.
Somebody covered this hole, but who could have made the hole?
and what's holding it up now?
Is it just it's just rock? Is there And we can't see down, right? We couldn't have seen down. It was all dark.
Down there, like you throw a torch
Mhm.
down.
Mm.
As you guys look, you start to see a full infrastructure below. The most disconcerting part, as the stone seems to have been let go, and is just this smell of nothing decayed, but just the smell of old dirt that hasn't reached the surface, and you guys have no clue how long. But as you guys look down, it's hard to see this huge expanse to just a huge drop, but the fire just allows a little bit of illumination in there, and you can see off to the edge towards, it's close to where the stone becomes ground. You see a staircase leading down.
So I know we're supposed to go to Sablefen, but do we feel like we could find some cover for tonight down here?
Let's check it out at least.
Yeah. At this point, the snow has continued to fall. You guys start to make your way over to that area where you saw like the staircase that led down. You have to dig a little bit. At this point, just over time, it seems that roots have almost created like a system that provided the area where the ground then took place. But you guys have to like dig a little bit. You guys can use just the sharp parts of the blade to cut at the roots a little bit. The roots let go, and you guys have a staircase down.
Was there like a hatch or like door over top of it, or was it just a hole that had been kind of covered by
It
roots?
seems,
Dirt
you
on
asking that, it seems that there had been maybe like a hatch of some kind that just over, you could tell at this point it's rotted away. And so, but at this point, so it's just an opening at this point. The only thing that was honestly covering it was like roots and dirt.
Right.
But as you like look at the edges of where the metal parts of the hinge would be, fully rusted, and any like parts of like the actual hatch seem to have rotted away forever ago.
Yeah.
You guys make your way down. The only illumination in the moment is the torch that you guys threw down earlier, because you guys also have so many torches from when you guys were in the mines. Do you guys light any other sources?
Pierce is the only one who needs
Yeah, I'm the only one that needs a torch.
And Azalea.
Mhm.
Right.
Azalea.
Will Azalea
feel
even
like-
come underground with us? I feel like
Azalea's currently on your shoulders, Buka.
okay. I try to keep Azalea calm as we head down the stairs.
I
You
think
can you
Azalea
notice
is
it.
trying to keep you.
Yeah, you notice that Azalea, as you start to make your way underground, you do notice that they get a little bit uncomfortable, but you guys light some torches and it illuminates the way. And you notice that, again, it's this massive drop, but there is a portion where it landed that it looks like it's like even ground, like it's actually like firm stone. You guys make your way down 100, 150 feet, 200 feet. It's kind of hard to tell as you guys are the only, other form of light being the little bit of moonlight that is starting to make its way, or sorry, the little bit left of the dying sun as the sun is setting that's making its way in. But you eventually make your way to ground floor, I guess. Everyone, while you're down here, go ahead and give me investigation check.
16.
16.
22.
Ooh, 22.
9.
With a 22, Pierce, you're looking around. There's an area where you see part of it looks, honestly, as you guys make your way down here, the hatch itself seems to have, rotted away when you guys were making your way down. As you're down here, things seem well preserved. You don't know how long it's been down here, so it's the cold itself seems to have helped in preserving a lot of the stuff. You guys make your way. Pierce, you notice with the 22, there's an area where on the other end that there is like a large table that has papers on it. You make your way over, you start to take a look at the papers. It's in common, but it's like an old iteration of it. Like the equivalent would be like trying to read Old English. As you're reading it, it's like you can understand it, but like this is an old form of common that hasn't been spoken in Solvent in hundreds of years. But it shows notice of a presentation that would be done in the lower hall on a later date.
Later date from when? Today. Correct.
So then, from what it says, it's a presentation that would have taken place about 380 years ago.
Does it say what type of presentation?
It just says that the speaker, all it says is that the speaker Veilthar, which is also, you guys know, is the name of the town nearby, that Master Veilthar will be holding the presentation in the lower halls and then on the date.
Does it have is there a mall map that says you are here and here is where the lower hall is?
You look around, you don't see anything like that. You do notice that there are, again, this floor you're specifically on, it seems to be just open space. But you do notice another staircase that leads further down.
Let's go.
I think we've made it this far.
We're already sidetracked. Might as well.
You go to the staircase down. As you start to make your way down, you finally reach the bottom floor. At this point, it's been just like a staircase down. You guys are following using like the old stone wall to lead you guys down. And then you eventually make your way to this open hall where you notice desks all lining up towards a center podium. You guys are looking at a classroom. What would you guys like to do?
This is an old school? Would I know if there was an older version of what is the name? Whisperfen? Yeah, was like
Go ahead
did
and
they
give me a history check.
I'm not good at history.
I'm going to walk over to the podium.
You start to make your way past the podium. You are walking past, again, this area is huge. There's honestly about 60 seats. Like it would have fit like a large class. Like it seems like a collegiate style or like a university style like classroom. What did Val get?
I got a 6 minus 1, 5.
5? You don't think so, but honestly, even with the 5, if there is, there's no way you even would have learned about it with Whisperfen being 3,000 years old. Like there's not really any indication that there would be something even before that.
But it's from 380 years old. So it's in the last, like, in the grand scheme of things, recent.
Would Buka, you start to make your way towards the podium?
And
then what is Pierce doing in this moment?
I feel like I can maybe roll another investigation to try to I'm looking at the desks, maybe how long it's been since someone's been down here.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation. And then what is Val doing?
I would like to detect magic.
Go ahead and detect magic. You got it. What is it?
An 8.
An 8. As you're looking, you can't quite determine the full, how old some of these things are. And again, part of it is just the cold down here. Like the only thing that's keeping the chill, the true chill away from you guys is the fact that you guys are wearing the ring.
Right.
But as you're looking, it looks like a traditional. It kind of, I think Pierce almost has a memory or a flashback of when you four were forced to take classes together, where you notice that there is an area where set up like a desk where you have like a little cubby underneath the actual desk part where students can place things down there. You notice a bottle of ink, of black ink with like a quill sticking out of it, like in the corner of the desk. And all of the desks seem pretty much the same. Like there seems to be like this level of just like everything's very clean, very put together, very organized. So last time this place was used, like it doesn't seem like people left in a rush. As you are casting detect magic, you feel magic everywhere. Like the stone itself, the building that you are in, like everything about it is encased in this like level of magic that doesn't seem very active, but it just seems that through like transmutation almost, that like just from being in the vicinity of a magic all the time, like it seems like it's absorbed it a little. So it's not,
Mhm.
it's almost like a leftover radiation almost. Doesn't feel incredibly dangerous, but you just feel it everywhere. Hit you from all sides. Buka, as you make your way to the podium, you do notice that there are some speaking notes from who it seems like Master Veilthar. But as you start to look, Veilthar seemed to be talking about creating a road system across the land that would help in it. And then, but you could tell that they, again, as you're skimming through it, right? But as you're looking through it, you are reading how it's it's important that each of the stones be imbued with a certain level of warding magic to prevent any kind of decay of the stone, as well as preventing any snow or other material from gathering in large amounts. And so it seems like a proposition for whatever school or academy you're currently at right now. And as you're going through the other notes, you notice that similarly to the desk, there is an area below on this podium where you could put like books or other paperwork, and then you pull out a journal
Hmm.
that seems, as you open it, do you attempt to read what's in the front with your limited reading?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Go
I
ahead.
think Buka can read much better than he can write.
Go ahead and roll, and I'll say this as you do like the investigation. Go ahead and just roll investigation for me.
Perfect. 16.
16. You currently have the journal of Vorikan, Vorrikan. And then as you're looking at it, you open it up. Go ahead and give me a history check. And then I don't know if you let people know. Again, people are on different like in different parts of this.
I think I look around and as I'm sounding out words that I'm reading, but don't really want to bother Val or Pierce from what they're looking at. Frickin'. Okay. 7.
With a 7, the name sounds familiar. Maybe in one of the classes you took, but the name is not unfamiliar. So showing it to Val or Pierce might be you might gleam a little bit more. But as you're kind of going through it, the again, part of it is like as you're looking at genuinely, there are notes in there that talk about like courses that need to be conducted to finish up the semester for some of the students. It seems like whoever is either like the headmaster or in charge of the school. There's like notes on, or like there's some like inscriptions on making sure that some of these classes make sure that are being taken care of. That also on the side and like some of the margins, you like are like, don't forget to get eggs for breakfast tomorrow. Like so, it genuinely just seems like a personal like entry or journal for this Furican.
Hmm.
But you can hold on to it if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I keep it and yeah, I tuck it away. Keep looking at the podium to see if there's anything else.
Yeah, the rest of it just seems like notes on classes. All of them seem to be arcanely inspired. There seems to be genuinely like courses on just abjuration for an entire year of
Right.
just going over that.
Right. Not interesting to Buka at all. Turning, is there a chalkboard in this classroom?
There's not a chalkboard, but the wall behind you is rounded, almost like a monitor, but you don't see any form of writing on it. But seeing as everything is magically or innately magical, part of you honestly believes or wouldn't be surprised if they had some like arcane ways or methods of presenting on this, almost like a, if anything, less like a chalkboard or like a whiteboard, but more like a projector.
Right.
Mm.
I'm just looking around the class and kind of kicking up dust as I walk back to Val and Pierce.
Yeah. There's like a book that's just like, it's been angled. This is like the one thing that seems out of place, where it's just like just like a random book that's just like leaning. You're able to, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
As you pick it up, the desk moves a little bit to the side, and then you start to just the desk like shakes, like there's something like in it.
What's in the? I look in the desk.
Just paperwork.
I kick the desk again.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Guys, 14.
14. When you kicked it, the ink bottle, or like the bottle of ink like fell, and then the ink is just kind of falling. With a 14 perception, ink stains a lot.
Mhm.
And you notice like the stains on it, and then you notice that the ink makes its way to the next desk, moving like almost like the ground is at a slant. And then as it reaches the desk, instead of going past it, starts making its way up the desk.
Hey.
As you call out, the desks by Val and by Pierce, without you even touching them, the ink bottles, all 60, one by one of the ink bottles tip over. As some of them fully rolling off, some of them just like on the desk themselves. You hear glass shatter in one of the desks far away, and then all of the ink seems to be moving towards the center of the room. What do you guys do?
I run back towards Val and Pierce.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Because I didn't like that initiative.
Go, cue the music.
Dun, 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 dun. I hope you fight an ink monster.